this season on Survivor Michigan. For almost 100 days, 18 students have battled to become the second sole survivor at the University of Michigan. Now, only 5 players remain. Lucy, a scrappy sister of Scrappa, has been underestimated the entire game, but in the past few weeks, she's come into her own while working her way into the final 5. Nick, the perceptive superfan, has long been targeted since the merge, defying the odds at every step and figuring out ways to survive each week. Sarah, the last member of Original Ohana, has turned on many of her allies. Does she have any more tricks up her sleeve in order to snake her way to the final tribal? Mallory came into the game with no knowledge of Survivor, but has grown into a formidable player, using her strong relationships to make it to the final 5 without ever receiving a vote. Mike, the cunning strategist, has calmly maneuvered his way as the Rock in a season of madness. Relying heavily on his alliance with Sarah X, he's never been on the wrong side of a vote. This is the end of the journey. This is the moment of reckoning. This is the final episode of Survivor Michigan, Leaders and Best. Congratulations on being the final 5. For today's challenge, we're bringing back some things we've done this season already. But here's the deal. The key to this challenge, don't be last. So we're gonna have 4 rounds. Each round, one person will be eliminated. So if you don't finish last, you will move on to the next stage. Each stage will have 1 physical and 1 mental component. Last person is out. Once it's down to 2 people, the winner of that round wins immunity. We'll explain each stage before we do it. For this first stage, we're bringing back the ball tossing challenge. You will each have 2 balls that you need to get in your own bucket this time. Once you've done that, you can move on to the mental component. For the first stage, it is going to be the boot order. So everybody that has been voted out this season, you will have to name in order of when they got voted out. Once you've completed both of those, you'll move on to stage 2. Drivers ready, go! Sarah in and out. Sarah sinks one.
I also have one in
Mallory, I did not see that, sorry.
Yes.
Sarah moving on.
Whatever.
Under, it's under,
Oh.
it's under.
Okay.
Flip it.
Oh.
Mike, give one of your balls to Lucy. Mike, with a little help from Lucy earlier, only has 1 ball left.
Double check it, but.
Sarah's moving on. Nick's good. Mike is good. Mike moving on. Lucy moving on to the boot order. Mallory.
Oh my gosh. Oh no,
Brian,
she has
Brian,
so much
Brian.
time.
They did
Yeah.
it before. They did it phone first and it's
time.
This is Brian, right?
Lisa.
Guys, at least give her a
Oh,
Sarah! All right.
Lucy moving on. Mallory eliminated. All right, guys, stage 2, we're bringing back the blocks. So each of you is gonna have to knock off 1 block, and then you will come see me. I'll hand you a notebook. On the first page, there are 6 brain teasers. You have to get 4 to finish. Everyone understand? Go! Oh.
Want to check? Once you figure it out, it'll be like, oh. Lucy's allowed to help whoever she wants now.
a favor and give
No,
Nick
it's broken nose.
and
Lucy. I was gonna give it him, and I was like,
Okay, done.
Nick with 4 right. Nick moving on.
I just need one more.
Sarah's got 3. Mike's got 2. I think now you have 2.
Is this good?
Mike with 3.
That's not that.
I don't know that one.
Nope.
Alright, I have it.
Yeah, Sarah. Sarah moving on.
The one that I couldn't
all the
figure
help.
out was the...
All right, stage 3. First things first, you guys are gonna untie 3 knots on a piece of rope. You will then go inside where we have a tangram puzzle. You need to fit 7 pieces into a square. First 2 people to complete the puzzle, moving on to the final stage of the challenge. Survivors ready? Go!
Oh, gross. I got knot falling off my nose.
Through them. Lucy already on her last knot. Lucy moving on, still working on the knots. Sarah moving on.
My hands are so cold.
Nick
Such a liar. No, I'm not.
trying to make all 7 pieces fit in the square. Sarah done.
Yep.
You can take it apart.
I just the paper you guys
Yep. Nick moving on.
Yeah.
All right, final stage, Sarah and Nick. We're bringing back the domino challenge. You guys each have 2 dominoes that you need to transfer to the other fence. First person to do that, you'll move on to the final stage where we got kind of a math puzzle about the season for you. You'll fill it out. The answer will be a number. First person to come up with that number is gonna win immunity this week.
After we have a tiebreaker with numbers.
Survivors ready? Go! Sarah and Nick is making their way across. It's a little windy, but both Nick's moving on, Sarah's moving on. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Can't help.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We just said. Go over here. Go over here. Go over here. The University of Michigan.
Founded in 1817?
1817.
Yes. And
Nope. Nope. Sarah coming back with the year, possibly. Nope. Nope.
Wait, what the fuck?
Nope. Nope. What's the answer?
79.
79. Nick. Win.
Okay, kiddos. Trying random numbers.
Well, I knew the rest, and I knew that it was like 1800 something, so I just counted it out. The answer is I knew the first number was a 7.
The university was founded in 1817. Last year.
I didn't know it was
Yeah,
17.
Yeah, I knew
It was close enough.
Huh?
They should have gotten you the right
Yeah,
answer.
I knew.
Oh, yeah, I had it
I
on
just
here.
can't do
Hey, after a long challenge, congratulations, Nick. Come and get it.
One of these days. One of these days.
All right, congratulations, Nick. Nick, moving on to the final 4. One of the 4 of you guys will not be so lucky and will join the jury. That's all we got for you. Grab your stuff, head on out.
We have the idol, we have the immunity necklace. It's gonna be.
We are both safe.
It's
Whoa.
so good.
Whoa! Too bad
Yes.
like not really on the line.
I know, right? The one
It
time
would be
we're
so
in a good
dramatic,
spot.
and they were like, "No, like we have to get Lucy off now." And I'm like, "You freaking thought!" Like, oh.
I want to give this like to you and to be like, what if
Oh
I
my
gave
God,
that to you?
Do that. Be like, no. Like, Cooper, I don't want this immunity challenge idol. And then give it to me, and I'll be like, oh my God, I finally won a challenge. And then.
I really think Nick is the biggest jury threat. And I don't know, I'm trying to think about it. Like, all right, let's say I went home this week, right? And you worked your way all the way to the final 3 in a similar path to Nick. I'd vote for you. Pretty much, except for Lucy, all the people that at one point or another that I was the closest with are here with me in the final 5. And I think, you know, it's not a one-person effort, it's a team effort.
So I think she basically, I mean, and if she means what she says, she wants me to tell her that she's going home.
So I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I really don't have much say in this vote. And you kind of just have to trust, you know, those loyal relationships that you've worked hard to build throughout this process.
All right, 1 week left. It's exciting.
So close to the end.
It feels so good being like safe.
I know.
So it's a new day, new me, new plan. I've decided that I am flipping on Mike.
Rode home with Nick and Lucy, but they didn't say because I'm pretty sure they either want me or you out.
Because I promised him I would never write his name down. I never promised that I wouldn't still orchestrate his vote out.
It bothers me that like Sarah thinks this is all her plan. She's like, I'm so glad you're going along with it. I was like, I'm not going along with it. Like we almost voted you out.
Sarah has never been in the position where she's been blindsided completely. Sarah has always had control or like some sort of control going on. And she doesn't like realize the importance of being blindsided, just like completely throws you off track and you're lost.
I think we just have to make that clear in jury. Like, I think no matter like what we do this week, it's like we just have to make it clear in jury that like we didn't save her because she didn't need anything. We just couldn't do Mike and Mallory in the final 2. Like,
Yeah, Nick knows about the plan for Mike, but I think he thinks that Lucy still wants to go to the end with him. So he doesn't know about that stuff.
Especially because Mallory's the only one who really can say anything of interest,
and she
never says anything at all. I'm whelmed. I'm very whelmed. I actually want to look up whelmed, like what that really means, like, because she means overwhelmed, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm very whelmed. Okay.
So I met with Lucy, and she doesn't want me to tell Mallory before because she's still scared about how close they are, but I still think it's in my best interest to tell Mallory and get her in the loop before. So I think I'm still gonna do that, but like just like really show my trust to Mallory and be like, even Lucy didn't want me to tell you this until after because she was scared of you being so close to Mike.
And Sarah, I think, would and has made the optimal choice over the loyal choice. I've heard murmurs that she's turning on me from Maggie when she had her back against the wall. So I don't know how much weight to put into that.
Just as like a second thought, maybe I should cry during that meeting with Mallory, because that would probably be more believable. You know, just be like, just met with Mike and like he literally like told me that he wants you out after Lucy, and like that just makes me really sad because I thought I could trust him.
And this is probably the first week in a long time where I really don't know. And that probably indicates to me in some ways that it's probably me, but I also think it's very well could be Sarah and it very well could be Lucy. I think Mallory and Nick are the only ones safe. And I think it's kind of, you know, passing of the baton in some ways from me and Sarah to Mallory. I mean, if Mallory's gonna be serious about me and Sarah as a final 3, like, this is her turn to get us to that point. Me and Sarah have carried a lot of the weight up to this point. I mean, we couldn't have done it without, you know, Mallory's loyalty, and her vote has been a major strategic element to what we're doing. So I don't know. I really feel like I am at the mercy of Mallory. I think when I met with Mallory, she kind of wanted me to tell her what to do, but I want her to make this decision.
Alright, and now we will bring in the members of our jury. Bree, Abby, Sam, Maggie, and Jack voted out at the last tribal council. Alright guys, welcome to the final 5 tribal council. We'll get right to it. Mallory, at this point, there's not that many people left, nowhere to hide. What do you do now? Even the people that have been flying under the radar, nowhere to hide.
I think you just try to be as transparent as you can when you can, and it really comes down, I mean, you kind of have to assume that everyone's talking to everyone at this point. So yeah, there really isn't a lot of room to hide, but there still is room to be open when you need to be open, and I guess conceal when you need to conceal at the right time. So, I mean, there's still a game left, for sure, but you just gotta be smart and prudent about it.
Okay. Sarah, we got 5 of the 6 jury members with us today. Looking good over there, jury. Have people been speculating what the jury's kind of thinking? Is that playing into what decisions people are making?
I think a little bit, but at the same time, that's not really something that we can control right now. I think what you can control is who you want to get to the end with, so that's what people are focusing more on right now.
Mike, Sarah mentions at this point in the game, it's all about who you want to bring to the end. Is that everything that people are focused on, or do you still have to worry about the alliances you've built throughout the game?
For me, I'm just not trying to get ahead of myself. I'm trying to just focus on this vote and getting through that vote and trying to, win the next challenge. I'm not necessarily thinking final 3 yet. That point will come, but it's not going to be easy to get there, even though we're only 2 votes away.
Nick, obviously not going to be you this week. How does that feel knowing that you're safe for this vote?
It feels amazing knowing that I only have necessarily 1 more vote to go to potentially make it to the end or lose the game. Yeah, it's exciting that for this one I'm completely safe and don't have to worry about anything.
Lucy, not a lot of talk of idols recently, but are they still in the back of people's minds? What's the thought on that?
Kirby, you're freaking me out right now. I don't know, is there an idol? I don't know. I feel like it would be awesome to feel safe and to have that. So I've never gotten the individual immunity, and I'm sure that's awesome. I don't know. Yeah.
This is the last week to play one, right?
It is.
So yeah, I think we're good.
There we go.
All right, Nick, keeping that this week?
Oh, for sure.
All right, then it is time to vote. Lucy, you're up first.
One more vote to go. Alright, kind of got a bad feeling. I think it's probably, I don't know. Could be Lucy, which is who I'm voting for. Could be Sarah, could be me. I don't think it's Mallory, and it's not Nick, so let's fucking see.
Alright, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now is the last time you can do so.
Wait, can I just say something? Before you read the votes, now I'm just like getting this anxiety, like today might be the day I gotta go. I'm just like really proud that I like made it this far and stuff. But today's not the day I'm going home. I got an idol! So, whoa, who thought that?
The rules of Survivor state.
Oh my gosh, Lucy.
That if someone plays a hidden immunity idol, all votes cast against that person will not count. This is a hidden immunity idol. All votes cast for Lucy will not count. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Lucy. Does not count. Mike. Mike. The 14th person voted out, and the 7th member of our jury. Mike, it's enough. Alrighty. Mike, the tribe has spoken. Alright. Time for you to go.
Thanks, guys. It's been fun. See you guys soon.
Alright, guys. Only 4 people left. You've all played one hell of a game, but only one of you can come out on top. I'll see you all very shortly for the final community challenge of the season. Grab your stuff, head on out. Good night.
Yeah, kind of felt like the vibe was a little off today. People didn't really want to talk to me that much, so kind of had a feeling. Definitely didn't see Lucy having the idol, but it's been a lot of fun, no hard feelings, and you know, I'm rooting for all of them, and I hope they enjoy, you know, Final Four and the rest they have in store.
I feel terrible. I just got voted out.
Yeah, okay. Real survivors always come back. Real survivors always drink up.
Alright guys, welcome to the final community challenge. First things first, Nick, I will take it back. Alright, for the final time, immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, it's going to be an endurance challenge. You're all going to have one hand on the cube and be slowly spinning it. Last person to have their hand on the cube wins immunity. No phones, no umbrellas, anything else goes. The last person to have their hand on the cube, safe at the next tribal council, and you will be in the final 3 and get to make your case to the jury. Let's get started. Guys, you are officially a half hour in. How is everybody feeling? Nick and Sarah? Good. Feeling good still? Lucy coming around?
Legs just starting to warm up.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. Mallory, half an hour in. How you feeling?
Swell, Cooper. Swell.
Are you feeling well?
Now, how well? Level of well.
I am beneath well.
Where are you right now?
Yeah, underwhelmed, well, or overwhelmed.
Alright guys, we are 1 hour into the challenge. All 4 of you still here. Lucy?
Staying strong.
How's it going? Staying strong.
Doing great.
Mallory? How's it going?
It's great.
What?
How are you two doing sharing the corner?
We're good. Yeah, we're having a great time. Ready, couple? Are we really playing Never Have I Ever right now?
This is you guys do what you want.
We're really playing Never Have I Ever.
This is your choice.
Yeah.
Someone else go first. Can I even think of one?
I don't know your guys' level of like.
I
found an idol.
Judge.
Never have I ever found an idol.
Oh!
Hit the cube, hit the cube.
Never have I ever gotten a vote.
She said
That
never
was
have I ever gotten a vote.
perfect.
Never have I ever won a challenge. Until today. We could do a fun segment called What is in Lucy's Pockets? I'll show you. We've got some good stuff.
Fine.
This is the good pocket. Wait until you see what's in here.
Sorry.
We've got some tater tots for later.
I'm getting dizzy.
I've got this man's real estate card he gave me one day when I met him in the coffee shop. This like 40-year-old man.
I don't know. Sarah said that she wants us to come to a conclusion on who can win this, and when I say I want to win it, she said no. So
I said it's most fair when Lucy wins.
But like it doesn't matter at that point. Like,
Well, then why does it matter if I win?
It doesn't matter. I said I want to win. I'm not dropping for either. That's what I'm saying. I also have never been dropped. It's just like I've done a 30-hour famine. I've worked at Taco Bell, so I've done this walking shit. Like I'm not afraid to pee my pants. I'm gay. I know how to douche, and so I did before I came here. Like I'm not pooping anytime soon. Like I don't know what you guys think is gonna happen. But like the only thing that's gonna make me drop is a cold, and I'm not even cold. So like I'm certain I'm winning this.
Yeah, but I'm also winning this.
All right.
And so is Lucy. That's the issue.
Lucy's gonna win. Lucy's gonna give the idol to Nick, so Nick gets his hand off the thing, and then Nick doesn't have to be paranoid, and then we can get off. That's what's gonna happen.
How do you guys feel about that?
There's no way in hell. It's stupid. I mean, Sarah, we're going to the 3, like we have it. And Sarah, this is what we need to get Nick to not spin the circle around for 3 more hours. Just let him feel safe.
They're discussing how they're gonna stay here all
Why
night.
don't you guys both drop together? Show your unity. Show that you're both not going out first. You're both going out second to last.
Do you feel comfortable if Lucy wins?
I do and I don't. I've also been like Mallory straight up has told me like she thinks I have the most friends on the jury. So I don't necessarily feel So I don't necessarily feel that comfortable being the one to drop. And like I do and I don't, because like I do trust you guys, but also there's always paranoia, and I know like I'm confident enough that I can do this, that like I can avoid the paranoia altogether. And that's something I feel like I need, because even this week when I had the idol or like the necklace, I was still having paranoia about like every single person flipping on me, because it's happened multiple times in this game.
Even when you had the necklace?
Yes, because it's happened. Literally everyone's lied to me multiple times in this game. I don't feel comfortable just like dropping if I'm not.
Why don't you hold each other's hands so then you have no option? Just slide your hands on top of each other, grab the fingers, and then you actually, like that takes away the trust. I don't get it. You go like this. You lock the hands, and then you both have to pull. Let me win. Let me win.
Sarah, are you considering this deal right now? So you think Nick has to drop first?
I don't know. He's won more challenges. I think it's fair.
What?
If we were comfortable enough with each other, you taking the bus up north to go get the keys, to take the bus back down to Central, to walk to Wi-Fi, to get Tate's car, to drive to the stadium so we could split an idol together. I do not understand why you're not trusting me right now.
I know. Also, okay, let's
think about that, like Nick, and not only that, as soon as I found it, I gave it to you. You would need it more than me, and then it just so happened that you won the challenge and were able to give it to me, but you openly gave it to me right now.
I know. But why do I have to be the one to
No,
lose?
you don't. There's one of you.
So what?
Like for me, it's just like I've been so close twice, and you took it from me.
How stupid do we want to be looping around this for another hour and a half?
And I don't want to do that just because I've been here this entire time.
Yeah, but it's a sunk cost.
So what? I'm It's not a sunk cost for me when I know I can do this.
Yeah, well, we all know we can do it.
Then why doesn't
No, Nick, like literally it's us three the entire time. And who knows how, like, it's literally always us three on the top winning challenges. Or almost winning challenges on my hand. I mean, Nick, we could go here for 6 hours.
So just let me win it.
All have it because you already won 2.
So what does that change? What does that change?
Just please let me win. Like, I'm just asking you. Just please, do you want me to give you the fucking idol? I'll give you the fucking idol if you just let me win it. Like, Nick, I will give it to you. I gave you the other one. Like, I'll just let you have immunity.
So you give it to me right after?
Yeah.
Promise?
Promise.
What idol?
The challenge idol. What? Just let me, honestly, just let me win. I just want to win, and Nick, I'll give it right to you.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Well, you're a shot. Wait, why Nick, though?
So let's just get this straight.
So recap what's happening, guys.
I'm confused.
Lucy's gonna give the idol to Nick, so Nick gets his hand off the thing, and then Nick doesn't have to be paranoid, and then we can get off. That's what's gonna happen.
How you guys feeling about that?
I'm down for that.
Sarah?
I mean, if she's giving it to him,
I mean, I literally I want him to put the necklace around me, and then I could go ahead and put the necklace around you. But I want to win, and I want to make it clear that I am the winner of this challenge, and that I have one.
Nick, so you're down for that?
Yep.
Like, actually?
Yes.
Like, literally lock hands and pull them off each other, and I swear it's good.
You're down to make that deal. We will interlock our fingers. We slide.
I'm confused how this benefits me.
You guys, but I swear to God, you better pull.
You said it doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't.
So, might as well.
Just lock the fingers, Sarah. We're so
Yeah.
close.
How do you do this? I don't know how to do this. There we go. Ready? Okay.
Okay.
3, 2.
Done.
I won my first challenge. Thank you.
Lucy wins final
Oh my God, I'm
immunity. All right, Lucy, congratulations.
Thank you.
Individual immunity is yours.
Thank you. Guys, it feels so good.
All right.
As I said, you don't have to win all the challenges. You just gotta win one.
So what was this deal that was happening at the end there?
So the deal is, I win immunity, and I give it to Nick. Which, Nick, you're going to the final 3 with me and us. But I'm keeping the necklace. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Lucy.
Yeah, I know. That's such a bitch move.
Lucy, you have to. Lucy, I literally gave you the idol. You did not. Lucy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Lucy.
You can kill me all you want. I actually will. If it comes down to it, if Valerie and Sarah are going to vote you instead. I can promise you that.
Lucy.
I'm such a bitch. I don't care right now. But I promise you right now, you will come in the final 3. I promise you.
Honestly, I would be like so depressed if I would get there.
No,
honestly,
I swear.
I would honestly not be able to talk to you. I mean that.
Okay, no, I swear. I won't keep my word on this necklace, but I'll keep my word that you're going to the final 3. I'm sorry, but I swear. I promise.
Okay.
Alright, gotta go home. I gotta go take a nap. Not get my legs not this good. So, I'm at the final 3 though.
Alright. Just lost the final comp to Lucy, who said she'd give me the idol, or give me the necklace, and she didn't.
Here's the deal. I'm pretty sure Lucy would have dropped out and it would have been me and Nick. We would have been there all night for literally literally days. But look, it's my dog's birthday tomorrow. He's turning 3. He's the cutest little thing in the world.
Sucks, because I really trusted her to actually give it to me when she said it.
And I'm going home tomorrow for his birthday. So I could not have been there during the day, which I honestly think it would have come down to a 24-hour situation. And I just know that Nick probably would have won.
And it sucks because I literally gave her the idol, but it is what it is. if she's actually being honest and wants to keep me in the game, take me to final 3, I actually think she's being truthful about it. And I hope she is.
So miraculously, somehow Nick agreed to this really stupid deal that Lucy made. Like, who gives up their individual immunity necklace? Why would he think that she would ever do that?
I know Mallory won't vote me, so I should still be safe, and honestly this actually gives me more to talk about in the final immunity or final tribal council, because I'll be able to show that I was 100% safe and I made the bonds I needed to make.
So I have pulled what may be the meanest thing I've definitely done all game.
Anyways, Lucy's like super cocky now. She thinks she's like, I don't know.
That is true. Oh my god, I'm really such a terrible person. That was so bad.
Yeah, but Lucy, do you know how many times I've done that to people in this game? We're both so bad. She thinks she made like the biggest deal in Survivor history. But girl, I just needed Nick not to win, because now, so Lucy like really wants to take Nick to the end now because she's scared of pissing him off.
It was literally into his face. To his face, I was just like, no.
I know, but
Rush.
But like, we had to do that or he would have won. Like, it was necessary. And it would still be such a big move if we blindsided him and took Mallory. Like.
Wait, do we have to even blindside him? Like, I might.
Oh, I mean, if we end.
I have to like think about it a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
But if we did choose Mallory over Mike, or if we did choose Mallory over Nick,
we should just tell him.
I would have to talk to him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he just means I feel bad like as a person.
No, I'm like actually like, I was pissed. I'm legitimately really upset because I like the idol situation, like we trusted each other enough to like that you gave it to me and then I gave it back, like that wasn't anything.
We didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, and so like going into that deal, I was just like, oh, well, if she's saying it, like she actually means it. Like I trusted you like enough that I was like, okay, it's gonna happen.
Alright, but like, trust me enough right now that like we're not voting you. Like Sarah, like we can't have Sarah win.
Yeah.
It's like, and I swear, like I know I've already lost so much trust in me.
Or if Sarah had won the immunity necklace, I would still have a good chance of being safe because Mallory had promised me never to vote me, and then Lucy has always had this social connection with me where we felt like pretty close. So I honestly think even like no matter who was in Sarah's spot right now, I would probably be safe.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You made it really far. I don't know what's going on right now.
Basically, it's 4 people left. That's not
been
traumatizing to you at all. This is like the scariest vote, I think, of the season for me.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't survive it, so I don't know what to tell you, but
like,
so
what is
when
this?
we were in high school, we were on the crew team together.
Yeah, we were.
And whenever, so if we were like at a regatta, and we would start walking together, it would just start pouring. Pouring. If we were in the same boat together, it would flip or something crazy like that.
Really bad.
I basically just have to continue playing to Lucy's ego and playing up the fact that I think everyone hates me, so we're like really well matched because we played super different games, and like just depends on who they decide to vote for that day. Because I really do not want Nick to flip her onto me.
It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me why Lucy would want to be in cahoots with Sarah or bring her to the final 3.
I'll be like, I'm fine with either, honestly. Like, I'm fine with going with either Nick or Mallory, but I'm gonna like state my case for Nick and just like play up the amount of players that I believe will vote for him. Like, even if I don't think so, I'm gonna like play it up.
And right after Tribal and after the challenge later that night, I messaged Lucy and said, like, are you sure that Sarah's someone that you want to bring to the final 3? That seems a little bit risky. And she's like, no, that was not the plan the whole time. So I was like, okay, that's what I thought.
I haven't necessarily actually had a real pitch. I've been pitching a me, Lucy, Mallory final 3 since Maggie was in the game. So I've already hinted that at Mallory. Like I straight up told her this is what the final 3 I wanted when Maggie was still in the game. I've been hinting at it to Lucy the entire time.
So do you think we should tell her? Maybe right before. You can meet with her like Monday, like 20 minutes before, and I honestly would tell her like, Sarah, you're the best player in this game. Like, you deserve to win this, but just unfortunately,
we're selfish and we want to win it. So
we're gonna take it.
Yeah. We're looking at each other and just saying like, Sarah has played the best game of anyone and honestly deserves to win this game. And the only reason that she's not is because she just ran out of people. Because honestly, like, top to bottom, Sarah has played the best game and absolutely deserves to win this game, hands down. But it turns out that her game ran out 1 week short.
So I'm meeting with Mallory and Lucy together right before Tribal. From what I like kind of got the gist of throughout this entire day, it seems that Lucy's still with me. Mallory's just been giving me very wishy-washy answers, so I cannot risk those two at that meeting right before Tribal just telling me we're voting you out. I refuse to go down at the hands of Lucy Mallory without at least trying to pull something. So I have made myself a vote steal advantage. Completely fake, but this is the bracelet with the magical powers. This is the slip, okay? So basically it says, this bracelet holds the power to the vote steal advantage. Must be 5 players or less left before it is useful if you can manage. Play it to steal someone's vote if you're doubtful. Its power holds true through the last Tribal Council. And so, if worst comes to worst, I'm gonna whip this out. The good thing is Lucy and Mallory don't know too much about the game, so I feel like it's easier to trick them. I'll be like, yeah, with the advantages, you can will it to people, and if you guys don't vote with me today, I'm stealing Nick's vote, and I'm casting 2 votes on Mallory.
All right,
Queen Idol lady.
Sarah, we think you're the best player on the team, in the Survivor.
Am I though?
Sarah,
Yeah.
you have literally been the brains of every operation since the beginning. Like, everyone's like, yeah, Jack and Sam are a bunch of like,
and that's
whatever.
liars.
But guys, I have like backstabbed so many people. Like, I genuinely
people respect the hell out of you.
I did a confessional with Cooper earlier, and I was like, freaking Sarah is the freaking best player I've ever freaking seen in my life, and he's like, yeah, pretty much, and I'm like, yeah,
so good.
What?
Like, you have been unsuspecting the entire time,
guys. But like, you don't understand. Like, because I backstab people, they're not gonna care.
No, because the jury, it's not a personal thing. People see the backstab as like, and everyone blamed the backstab on everyone but you.
Yeah.
You don't think Nick would though?
No.
Nick doesn't. Nick tried doing the same things as you, but he got caught every time he tried.
Every single time.
And everyone knows he tries doing that. Like, you're so good. You're such a good player.
Sarah, you will literally win this game if you make it to the final. You will literally.
Alright, well, guys, I didn't want to have to do this.
You have an idol?
No, it's not an idol, but so Jack found this week 5 during the memory challenge right after the swap.
Yeah.
And it's a vote steal advantage. And I like really didn't want to have to do this because I thought you guys were on my side. But basically I can steal someone's vote, and if you guys don't vote with me, I'm gonna steal Nick's vote and I'm gonna put 2 on you. And so then it'll have to tie me and you, and then one of us is gonna go home. Whereas we can just all just go to the end.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There was one advantage to this game.
Okay.
Guys, I didn't want to have to do this.
No, but you have to know, like, it wasn't, like...
I mean, again, everyone says that it's a respect thing. It's totally a respect thing.
Like, yeah, like you're the best player.
Like, knowing that we cannot beat you.
And,
so,
like, that is even better. That just proves...
Yeah.
Let's just vote together. Because, like, now there's the opportunity that you
well,
go.
Now, game has changed, Sarah.
I didn't want to do this.
I mean, yeah, conditions are different now, so...
I thought you guys would just want to go with me. I didn't want to. And like, I memorized all the numbers, so if there is a tie, like.
What do you mean you memorized all the numbers?
And if they ask like how many votes have been cast, like whatever, like I memorized everything. So like, don't make me do this to you, Mallory. I swear.
True. I mean, I'm certain.
Now.
I seriously am just like so shell shocked right now that it's.
I'm shell shocked. just school shocked, just like from everything that's like in my, I'm trying to put in my brain right now. I just can't.
Yeah, I'm about 2 ticks above Whelmed right now.
Guys, this travel's gonna be so funny.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Really gonna put on a show.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, and then after, right before Cooper reads the votes, you're gonna be like, I'm held them hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nick's expression will be even better if he like had no idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just why we should just.
Okay.
But there's still always that little thing in the back of my head saying you might be going. So I won't feel comfortable until after the last vote is read.
Alright guys, welcome to the Final Four Tribal Council. We'll start off with you, Lucy. Talk about how that challenge ended.
Well, I've been telling people that they've underestimated me the entire game, and I think the challenge really showed it because they literally willingly let me win. They just gave me the immunity idol. They both took their hands off at the same time, and I think both of them might have realized that it might have been a mistake for them. But now it's too late, and now I'm in the final. So.
Nick, talk about the deal that was kind of struck at the end there.
Well, so we've been there 6.5 hours, walking around the cube in the cold. And so after 6.5 hours, we kind of got like fed up with it. Everyone was like pissed. I was like completely fine. Like I did not need to pee. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't really that tired. I was just straight up pissed and was like, okay, over this challenge, can like someone just like drop already at this point? Lucy offered to give me the necklace if I dropped, and seeing as we had a good relationship and we had a thing with the idol where we were able to exchange it between each other without like really getting stressed out about what's happening, stay there. So, after being fed up, I decided that me and Sarah would interlock our fingers and we dropped. And that's what we did, and then Lucy didn't give me the idol, but it's alright as long as I make it to the final three.
Mallory, where do you stand on deals in this game? Do you have to go back on some deals, or is it 100% always keep your word once you made a promise?
I mean, I think that we've seen both sides of it in this game with varying degrees of success. So I think that it's pretty circumstantial, and it kind of depends on individual style in a lot of ways, and just how you see your game going forward.
So Sarah, obviously only 3 people not immune tonight. Who's in danger?
I'd say it was probably me or Nick, but we both decided to drop because we both thought we were pretty close to Lucy and Mallory, so I guess it's just like who ended up actually being closest to them this week.
So Lucy and Mallory, that puts you in kind of a swing position for this vote. How do you make a decision between these 2 people?
Having the immunity, I thought was going to be so easy. I thought it was going to be kind of, I don't know, I thought it was going to be easy because I knew I was going to be in it, but it kind of makes it worse because now I'm the one choosing, and I have to make that choice.
Mallory, where do you weigh in on all this?
I mean, Lucy in a lot of ways is in the driver's seat because she has that security, but it's kind of strange how much game there is to play with so few people, and things change in a moment.
In an instant. You think you know one thing, you don't.
Yeah.
So
it feels like a wild card in a lot of ways. So.
Nick and Sarah, either of you feel confident tonight, in danger, or how are you 2 feeling?
I feel pretty in danger.
Yeah, I have paranoia, but I also have trust in the people I've made bonds with, I've played with since the beginning of the game, and I honestly call these people like really close friends of mine. So if I'm going home this week, it's going to be super devastating in multiple ways than just the game for me. So I hope that my trust is placed in the right places.
Any last pitch either of you 2 that feel in danger tonight want to give to Lucy or Mallory?
I think I already gave all the pitches that I have.
Alright, then it is time to vote. Lucy, you're up first. I'll go tally the votes. Alright.
Cooper, before you read the votes, I gotta say, I had a vote steal advantage, and I will read it. This bracelet holds the power to the vote steal advantage. Must be 5 players or less left before it is useful if you manage. Play to steal someone's vote if you're doubtful. Its power will true to the last card of the console, which Jack willed to me after he was voted out. This is fake, but sorry Nick, I used it to turn Lucy and Mallory on my side. Wait, it's fake.
Did you? We got that, dude.
Oh my god! I was gonna be voted out if I didn't do that. I'm sorry.
Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final.
Nick, oh my
Person
god, I'm
voted
so
out
sorry.
will be asked to leave the travel council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Sarah. Nick. Nick. 2 votes Nick, 1 vote Sarah, 1 vote left.
But she's promised not to vote me, and I promised not to vote her, so we are still working very close together. Mallory might vote me, but she's promised not to.
Sarah, we have time.
I have to keep my promise to Nick. Sarah thinks that she's got a Scott, but again, I don't know what this is gonna do. It could totally backfire, it could totally do something, but I gotta keep my promise to Nick.
The rules of Survivor state that in the event of a tie at the final 4, we will go into a head-to-head challenge between Nick and Sarah. We each give you a paper and pencil, and we'll get started.
I'm down so.
Alright guys, the way this is going to work, we have 6 tiebreaker questions laid out. We'll go through all of them. There are a total of 7 possible points that you can get because the first one has 2 answers. We'll go through them all. The person with the most points at the end will win. The other one will be eliminated from the game. If we are tied after all 6 questions, we will go to our tiebreaker question. Everyone understand? Alright, first question. Who sat out at the first challenge? There are 2 correct answers here. Alright, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Nick, who you got?
Bailey and Bree.
Sarah?
Bree and Mallory.
Correct answer, Bree and Bailey. Nick scores 2, Sarah scores 1. Alright, question number 2. Who won the second immunity challenge after the merge? Three, 2, 1, reveal. Who we got, Nick?
Maggie.
Sarah?
Maggie.
Both are correct. Maggie won the food eating challenge. Alright, question 3. Who got second place overall in the ping pong and plates challenge? Balancing the ping pong ball on the plate. Who got second overall? Good. Very good. Alright. 3, 2, 1, reveal.
Abby.
Abby is the correct answer. Alright, after question 3, Nick with 4 points, Sarah with 3, 3 questions left. Question 4. Who was picked first at the tribe swap. Alright, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Nick, who you got?
Lucy?
Sarah? Mike is the correct answer. Sarah ties it up 4-all. 2 questions left. Question 5. Who was the answer in the Soprotas challenge to who was most likely to stab you in the back? Alright, 3, 2, 1, reveal. Nick?
Maggie?
Sarah? Maggie is the correct answer. We are at 5 apiece. Final question. Question 6. Who was eliminated 3rd in the bucket challenge, tossing balls into the buckets? Who got eliminated 3rd? Good. 3, 2, 1, reveal. Nick, who you got?
Mike.
Sarah? Correct answer is Mike.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Nick. Nick, I'm so sorry. You don't understand. She said this she said this like steal thing, and I thought it meant she can take our votes and steal it to Mallory. So I thought if I voted her, she'd be like, I'm taking whoever voted me and putting that on Mallory. So that was between you two. And I don't know. She didn't.
I just want to say one last thing, guys.
Oh my god. Shaking noise. Whatever. I mean,
After a long 92 days, your journey has finally come to an end. Grab your torch.
I was just so confused and she's just like, you can't vote.
Sarah, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go. Alright guys, well after an eventful tribal council, congratulations to you 3. You now have gone as far as you can in this game. Power now turns to the jury, where Sarah will make up the 8th and final member of the jury, and they will decide who wins this season of Survivor.
I'm gonna cry. This is embarrassing. I always lose to Nick in the last freaking tiebreaker thing. I literally had Mike and I changed it to Maggie because I was like, I feel like people were gunning for Mike and Nick first. I literally, if I had written Mike and then won this question, I could have won this game. But you know what? I'm proud of the game that I played. At least I think I showed everyone that I was a good player, and I think people know that if I made it to the end, I would have won, so at least there's that. I just suck at tiebreakers. That was my downfall.
Honestly, I feel pretty dang confident. Mallory hasn't gotten a vote this entire season, but she's also not really been a part of this season. Really, if you look at all the votes, if you took Mallory's vote out of the equation, everything still would have happened the exact same way. Lucy has been labeled as this person who can't survive on the island, who didn't deserve to be here, and really every move she's made, except for the one where she made a deal with me for the necklace, has been a move that I've actually made and that I've been the forefront of. And so she doesn't have many claims to fame. By statistics, Mallory's game looks better. I just hope everyone takes into account everything that's happened and realizes who actually was making moves behind the scenes instead of just looking at stats and what happened just on the general surface, because I feel like I've done a lot of things that have been at the forefront and have been moves in their own way despite maybe not voting correctly every time.
With a really heavy Ohana presence in the jury, I think that it'll likely come down more to perception rather than really knowing us deeply and how we play our games, because Mike and Chidi are the only ones who have played with the three of us for an extended period of time. I mean, since the merge, we've all gotten to know each other a little bit more, but I would love for a girl to win. Again, we don't know who won season 1, so for all we know, a girl has already conquered Survivor Michigan, but we don't know. It would be cool to have a girl win for sure, because it kind of seems like there's this Survivor glass ceiling, even though a lot of women have won Survivor. Sarah seems to think that there's a bias towards voting guys to win things, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm just so stoked to see Final Tribal and have the experience. So.
Okay, so I'm about to go to the finale. I'm really excited. I'm hiding in the bathroom because I forgot to film this. But I just want to say before I go in, I'm so proud of myself for just making it this far and becoming the type of player that I am. And no matter what happens in this, I think Nick and Mallory are just amazing people as well. And honestly, I'm happy with whatever way it's gonna turn out. So.
Here's how tonight's going to work. You guys are each going to give a brief opening statement. The jury will address you with questions, and you will each get a closing statement. The jury will then go vote for the winner of this season of Survivor Michigan. So we'll get started. Nick, you're up first.
First of all, I want to say thank you guys for this game. I've been wanting to play Survivor since 8, so this might not be the real thing, but it's close enough, and it's been a great time doing it. I was able to get really close with Lucy, with Abby, with Maggie. I was able to keep my bond with Mallory, and I was able to create connections with Sam and Sarah, which ended up allowing the game to start flipping. The next round, where Jack was targeted, and in that round, despite being the one targeted at first, I was able to get the vote off of me and get it onto the two people who were in the big wigs. So despite the fact that all three of us made it here without really being in that much danger, I personally feel like I should win because I was able to be in the forefront of the entire game. I had a target on my back, but I was able to keep it off of me where I was never actually really in danger until the final 4, and I was able to make moves while even being in the minority the entire game. Well, not the entire game, for a couple of moves. And for that, I personally believe I should win the game.
Okay. I began this game not knowing the difference between an idol and a buff. Convinced that this show called Survivor is going to be about who can withstand the elements and cook their food over a fire fastest. What a rude awakening this has been. I now know, I believe, one way to succeed in this game, which is how I find myself standing before all of you today. The way I see it, everyone spends their entire game on a sheet of ice. Everyone capable of slipping and sliding and falling through. However, I came to see that it was the people that began fidgeting upon remembering that ice is slippery that ultimately ended up making them overcompensate and ultimately falling. I decided to go a different route. Seeing as I didn't know much about playing the game, I just decided to make some friends, some of these alliances everyone was talking about. And I also made the decision not to hide my lack of knowledge of the game. I've played safe and allowed myself to be insulated, but that safety has been at least partially the result of strategy. And nothing, and honestly just kind of allowing me to let this game play itself. So much so that I found myself in the final 5 with my choice of majorities, unbroken trust between my 2 strongest allies, and offers from Sarah and Lucy to work with them. Again, this is because I was seen as beatable, maybe, but my game has not been one of superlatives, as the superlative challenge demonstrated. Most likely to win? No. Least deserving to be here? Also no. Not the loudest, not the most showmancy, not the least likely to survive on an island. Maybe safest, maybe most incognito. Not sure, but those might be good options for me. Even though this is a reality TV show that's entertaining because of loudness and boldness, I'd rather be the most protected person due to authentic relationship, the one that is consistently holding a spot in the upper middle echelon, than the one aggressively surging from top to bottom. Plus, I get motion sick pretty easily. I think I've been smart and selective about when I've decided to matter and who I've decided to matter to, keeping my game alive and full of options until the final weeks. My influence peaking at the last possible moment, becoming the person whose vote mattered latest, which in this game called Survivor is ultimately the one that matters most. So thank you all for this game, and it's been really whelming.
So my first obvious question I'm going to get is, do I deserve to be here? And obviously you guys voted no, that I don't. And maybe in the beginning I didn't. Maybe in the beginning I was the naive freshman sorority girl you guys thought I was. But as in the wild, I think the most important survivor is the one that adapts. And I think that that has been me the entire game. From the starting from the team challenges, I was able to hold my own in team challenges and help us win. And being on Cerulean, that's all I needed to get me forward. That was a safe vote. After the merge, I didn't win many immunity challenges. I only won one, but I think it was the most important challenge. I was completely underestimated still the entire time. However, with my confidence, I thought I was on the bottom the entire time, and that is when I started making some mistakes. However, I was still able to convince everyone and stay with my alliances. And then in the final challenge, I was able to pull the most important move I've ever made in the challenge, which I think ultimately shows what kind of player I am. Where Sarah and Nick both underestimated me so much, they were both willing to drop their hands together and let me take the immunity idol. And I think both of them saw that that was a mistake that they made. I think I do deserve to be here, and I think I do deserve to win.
All right. Thank you, Lucy. And now we'll turn to the jury for questioning. Chibi?
My question is for Nick. What do you believe was the biggest turning point for you in the game, and why do you feel that you're a better competitor than the other two?
I kind of addressed this in my speech, but I think the turning point for me was being able to have those bonds that got people to flip on Jack, because I had bonds with Maggie and with Lucy, and Maggie was the one who started talking to other people with Sam and with Sarah about flipping the vote and actually keeping me that week. Even though everyone was actually talking to me and telling me I was going home, I was able to convince Maggie to flip, or to get people talking and get people to flip. And because Sam had a connection with Lucy and Lucy had a connection with me, he was comfortable with having a 4-person alliance there, and it just sparked actual moves being made instead of those 4 staying together and continuing the game in the majority. And I believe it started with me, extended from Maggie, and kind of shifted the entire game in that way.
So, I know Mallory and Lucy, you guys are really nice. I want you guys to say something mean about your other 2 opponents.
Can I think for a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Well, Mallory, I think sometimes when you're talking to me, you could kind of seem like the mom and you almost baby me a little bit and think of me as a little kid, which kind of would annoy me sometimes.
Really annoying.
Yeah. Sometimes, like when we were together and we thought we were on the bottom together, you would still talk like you were still better and you still knew a lot more. It just made like both of you guys kind of like were a little condescending. And still, I think that goes back to everyone underestimating me ultimately.
I can see that it pisses you off. It's really annoying. I don't know. Lucy can be kind of aggressive at times, but I actually think that might be, I don't know. I don't agree with your taste in Ben and Jerry's ice cream. American Dream is not that great, but that's okay. Nick, I guess, is kind of dramatic, I guess, maybe. Yeah, that's it.
I just want to address the jury real fast. I want to just like make sure we're all voting the right way, and I'm gonna be subtle about this and say that I hope you all vote for the person whose game was the most respectable to you, and if that's floating along and not knowing any of the rules ever, then vote for that. Great. But if that's knowing the game and being smart and surviving weeks where your literally back was on the line, then vote for that. And we don't want two robbed players in this last vote. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Abby. All right, we're gonna fix this camera.
I mean, it doesn't. We can move if we want to, but it's fine.
Congratulations on making the final three. I don't know. I just want to say, yeah, for all the talk of like, am I deserving? Am I not deserving? People are defending themselves. I just want to say, like, you guys have done something that none of us could, regardless of people's thoughts on like, if it's fair. Like, I don't know. You guys are there and we're not. I want to congratulate you on that. Yeah, Nick, I want to say, like, dude, I wish we got to work together more in the game. You seem like a fun guy, and like, dude, we almost had it there at the end, you know. So I want to say, like, I've seen you as kind of like the cockroach that like, there's all these nuclear blasts happening, and you're like able to escape and like get past it. And like, I really respect that. I think you've made it through a lot of stuff, and that's really awesome. And Mallory, like, I wish we would have got to work together too, more than we did, because like we were only a little alliance for a teeny bit together, then it kind of blew up. But I really like how you just like owned your game. You came in here knowing nothing really about the game at all, and now you're in the final three. A lot of us are super fans, and now we're on the jury. So I also like just respect how much you've grown in this game. You've made it a long way, and I'm really proud of you for making it here, and for just owning the game that you had. And Lucy, yeah, you too. I think you have been really underestimated this entire game, even still now. You came in, your fun fact is that you're in Scrap Up, and I think people, you know, I think people took that and underestimated you, but you won an immunity challenge, and the way you won that was just crazy. I think that was just playing the game at its finest. The way that you got Nick and Sarah to both drop, and hey, there you go. That's the way you win immunity, and you won the most important one. I'm proud of all you guys. You're all awesome.
You guys know me.
I feel like we don't.
You're right, you don't. But yeah, I'm not gonna really be nice. Cause yeah, it's funnier not to be to me. So let's just jump right in before I think about this too much. Lucy, you won't be getting my vote, and you will not win this game, but I hoped you gained something simple from Survivor. I hope Survivor helped to replace that infamous fun fact that you used at the beginning of this season. You said that your fun fact was that you were in Scrappa. Yikes. Your fun fact was that you were part of a group, and that's not a fun fact, that's a sad fact. if you were to start over with a new fun fact based on your Survivor game, what would it be?
It would be I made it to the final 3 and you didn't.
Okay. That's fun. That's way better than being part of a group, right? Stand out. Progress. Okay. Before you voted me off, Mallory, you told me I was incorrectly labeled during superlatives and that my strategy had in fact been running this game. You said this after I explained jury management in detail and gave you clear suggestions on how to stand out from both Mike and Sarah. I left you that journal as a reminder to be strategic because I clearly value strategic effort. You didn't take my advice and you know me well enough to realize that I was nice does not count as strategic effort. So what did you do with the information I gave you? What strategic moves did you make and did our conversation change your game in any way?
I mean, this was basically the prophecy that you had laid out. It was just carried out in a different way. I mean, this was the plan that the two of us had talked about. The fact that, because that was the week when you were kind of in danger, and you were saying that I could flip on the powerful people to get the 3 of us and you into a more safe spot, and that was realized without seeing you, which is kind of sad. I think that my vote has been, it was crucial to vote Jack off. It was absolutely crucial to vote Sarah off. And it's, I mean, I was able to keep relationships and be loyal until it wasn't pertinent anymore. And having to vote for Mike also proved that I was willing to cross lines at some point when it became strategic. And also, the only individual immunity challenge that I did win was crucial to voting Jack off because he still had an idol, and if he would have won individual immunity that week, that would have been at least 2 more weeks of him being in the game. So, yeah.
Okay, so Nick, you already have my vote. Love you. I'm pretty sure I saved your ass on 2 separate occasions. We had somewhat of a friendship, and I generally respected you as a person. So now, even though I already told you I'm voting for you, you're asking me to respect you as a player in this game. So, what do you have in common with Cardi B? That's my first one. Then, what did you personally do that's worthy of my respect? What plans did you orchestrate, and why should you be here more than Mallory?
I don't know if it's clear or not, but I'm kind of just as extra as Cardi B, both with hand signals, dramatics, and just in general. You're welcome. I think a lot of what I did relied on my social bonds. Me and Mallory had a promise never to vote each other. Even when, like, I don't know, it was really early on in the game, and like I used that this entire game to know that like I was always gonna have like someone from the other side tell me if I was in danger. My bond with you helped save me when you flipped it on Jack. And then I definitely was someone who orchestrated Mike leaving. I know Sarah and me had the same idea going into that vote that Mike was gonna go. But Lucy actually talked to me on the way back from the immunity challenge when I had the idol and the necklace. She was like, oh, we should definitely go Cerulean Final 4. And I was like, you know what? Probably a bad idea considering Mike and Mallory will not ever vote for each other and they're a strong bond. And actually that was the only thing I was ever worried about because if those two were in the Final 4 and Lucy won immunity, then I wouldn't make it. Whereas if Mike was gone, I knew I was 100% at least getting a tie because I knew Mallory would never vote for me. And so that was, I would claim Mike as my move, especially because even if Lucy didn't switch her vote, I still had the idol and I only gave it to her last minute when I knew she was voting Mike out and I knew that nothing was going to change. And I even while giving it to her, I made sure she used it on herself by explaining that like I had a conversation with Mike and Mike told me he wasn't voting Sarah. So like you need to use it on yourself so that she couldn't do anything else with it.
Well, I look forward to dancing with you later. I appreciate that you brought that journal. That's really sweet.
Lucy, I'm sorry. I came into this game being savage. I said I was going to be. I ended up being nicer than I expected. But yes, I am proud of you for being here, and I'm sorry that I had to be savage on the way out. It was for my fans.
Alrighty. Hello, final three. So I just kind of want to do what I guess a few people have, kind of address each of you in turn. Lucy, you're the one person who I never really got a chance to talk to in this game, and I honestly really regret that. And I think that you have been underestimated throughout this game. And I think that your move at the final immunity challenge and convincing both Nick and Sarah to step off was a pretty good move. And I was starting to maybe even talk myself into voting you. But then you fell for Sarah's vote seal.
I don't really watch Survivor, so when Sarah whipped out the advantage, I didn't know advantages were a thing. So I was like, what does this mean? And she's like, you can't vote for me. If you vote for me, I'm gonna take your vote and switch it. And I was like, what does that mean? She was just like, you can't vote for me. And it was like 3 minutes beforehand, and I didn't know, and I don't know the rules, so I was like, I don't know. I put that out as my own stupidity for not knowing Survivor. So
and that's fair, but there's somebody who's sitting right next to you who had to ask Sarah Gallagher the first week what tribal council was. And she saw right through Sarah's thing, and she still voted for Nick. And that just, I don't know. Mallory, I guess, yeah, next I'll turn to you. I honestly have been so impressed by you tonight, and I think that you really exceeded my expectations. What is one thing in this game that you did better than Sarah? Sarah played, I think, one of the best games I've seen in Survivor.
Absolutely. Sarah played the best game overall. Absolutely.
But I just want to hear one thing that you think you did better than Sarah. And I don't want to hear a cop-out answer saying, like, you know, there's nothing I did better, like, oh, I guess I just survived the last vote. I want to hear one thing that you did better than Sarah, or you're going to lose my vote.
Love it. One thing that I think I did better than Sarah. Not my real answer, but the first thing that came to mind was authenticity for the majority of relationships until it became impossible to be. Sarah's proved that she schemes so well that it all seems super authentic, but as far as being straightforward, yeah, but that's not the real answer, that's the cop-out answer. One thing I did better than Sarah. If you have an answer, you can go ahead.
Do you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, sure.
I think I was able to create bond and take a target off me a lot better than Sarah. While Sarah was making moves, I disagree with that. Because while Sarah was making moves, I've talked to Sam, I talked to Maggie, and both of them were targeting her. I knew you and I knew Lucy never wanted her in the finals. You guys both explained to me that she was a bigger threat, and both said multiple times that you wanted her out. I remember having a distinct conversation with you where I asked for this final three and this is what I wanted, and we both explained that Sarah was a threat. Sarah was actually almost going home at final 5 because they both thought she was a threat. And even in the final 4, I was able to take the threat off me and put it onto Sarah, and I was painting that target since final 10. From final 10 all the way to final 4, I was painting that target on Sarah, and I was able to outplay her in that way to get them both to literally go tell her that they were going to vote her out. And the only reason it didn't happen where I was here in the final 3 with 3 votes against her is because she whipped out an advantage that Lucy didn't understand, and Lucy just made a bad move. And it wasn't like I could have done anything to change that move. It happened 3 minutes before Tribal. Lucy didn't understand it. Lucy was flustered, but there was nothing I could have done to switch that. But other than that, I was safe to the final 3, and I think I did that better than Sarah.
But as far as she received fewer votes than you.
No, how many votes did she get? She got
She got one vote.
She got one vote from
She got one vote before she got voted out.
She got one vote from Maggie and 2 votes from us.
Right. I guess I have a follow-up question, if that's all right. One thing that you've mentioned a few times is that you had a big role in Final 8 when there was the flip on me. That really goes against a lot of what I've heard of what happened, is that Sam, I shouldn't have told him about my 2 idols, and he put into engineering the place, talking to Maggie first, and then Maggie went to you, and that's how the whole thing started. So I want to know, I guess, either specifically there or more generally, how much of you surviving being the target was you actually gaming, or was it just people deciding to switch a target off of you onto somebody who they wanted to take out more?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, honestly, because while I was gaming, I couldn't actually pick out a single target because it was dependent on what people's relationships were. But I had planted the seed that you were a threat at Final 10 with Brie and Maggie. Like, that's what I did, and I built this bond with Maggie going forward. They could have waited an extra round and did it with him, Maggie, Sarah, Lucy. They all could have done it the next round and did the same exact thing, but they decided to do it with me because I created that bond with Maggie and with Lucy, and it allowed us to have this Final 4 plan going forward, even if it didn't work out. So it was, yes, getting the target off from me, but that happened through the bonds I had, and I had been creating from Merge. Actually, I was even creating that bond before Merge because I was talking to Maggie before Merge even happened.
And I think I finally thought of an answer to your question. I think that because I think it kind of builds off of my previous answer. I think that my lies were better towards the end because I had built up a reputation for being someone who couldn't tell a lie. And like, this is a game. I don't think Sarah is a liar in real life. That is absolutely not what anyone is trying to say. But I mean, I think that she built up that scheming, more lying type reputation. So people were probably more inclined to not take her at her word. And I think that because I had had that reputation built up from Final 7 or 8 onwards, I was seen as the truth teller, which kind of gave me an edge in the lying realm, I suppose, when it came to...
Personally, I think it's more impressive to be somebody who can fly under the radar the whole game, not ever be a target, rather than somebody who can survive being a target, maybe through luck, maybe through strategy, whatever. That's just my final subtle plea.
All right, thank you, Jack. And we'll move on. Mike, you're up next.
All right, congratulations, Final 3. I'm gonna vote for Mallory tonight, but I want to ask everyone a question. And Mallory, there's definitely jury votes that you're gonna have to convince here tonight. So I'm gonna give you a bit of an advantage. My question is going to be, what have you learned from yourself or about yourself over the course of the game? Mallory, you'll have unlimited time. Lucy, I'll give you 1 sentence. And Nick, ride or die, man, you got 1 word. So, I'll go Lucy first, then Nick, then Mallory. Whenever you're ready.
I need to be confident in myself and my moves.
Strength.
I don't know, I'm pretty straightforward. I'm seen as just the nice girl, the one who can't tell a lie, all of these things. And all of these kind of survivor people sort of indoctrinated me into this group, and I think that I've proven that I can be, especially towards the end, scrappy, strategic, but also kind and all of those things. So I think that I've been able to largely be myself, but also realizing that that fits in Survivor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Sarah, finish us out. Final question for the finalists.
Alright, so congrats to you 3 for being here. I'm proud of all of you. So my question is, the season of Survivor is Survivor Michigan leaders and best. So my question for all 3 of you are, could you provide some concrete examples of when you were successful leaders in the game And also, do you believe yourself to be the best player and why? And we'll start with Nick.
I think I led the mic vote, really, if we're just going for a simple one. You brought it up, but I had already been thinking about it, and really Lucy didn't think about it. She literally, like, once you left the car, she was like, yeah, we're not keeping Sarah. And I was like, yeah, we are. So I kind of led that vote, knowing I had what I had, the advantages I had, and I was the one who made that happen. I don't think Mallory wasn't going to vote Mike until the day of, when all three of us had already said that we're going to vote Mike. That wasn't like her move at all. She just did it because she knew he was going home. I kind of explained why I think I deserve or am the best player going into the opening statement. But if we're going to give Mallory a lot of credit for being able to stay safe, I would like to point out how going into Final Four, we knew she just wasn't like as big of a threat, that literally both of us were at that cube and knew that it was literally between us. We didn't even need to have a conversation that day because we knew we were going to vote for each other, and there was nothing that either of us were going to say to sway each other, because we knew how well both of us played the game, and that we both knew and respected each other's games that much. I knew you were a big threat, and I knew that I had the promise of Mallory in my back pocket. It wasn't like Lucy's big move of like, oh wow, I'm so much better. I like had all this trust. It was more along the lines of like, I was fucking done getting harassed for 6.5 hours. I knew you were a big threat, and I knew my game well enough that I at least had the tie, and that I should have had all three, but you pulled out a brilliant move, and I respect you way more for that. But I think after everything I've said, I think I've explained my game, and I think we both knew going into Final Four that it was between us. We literally had the same exact targets, Jack, Mike, and then each other. We knew exactly who needed to go, when they needed to go, and we knew the path to get to the final three, and it just ended up that I got here over you.
I think that leadership definitely haven't reached a peak at the very last vote when you made your move, and I somehow intuited that it wasn't authentic, and I had to make a seemingly autonomous decision, even though it was never really a doubt in my mind. So I think that was probably a leadership move for me. Also, yeah, I mean, I see my leadership peaking at the very end and then regressing backwards. I mean, making it to the merge, entirely luck. There was no game before that for me. Entirely being the nice girl who flew under the radar, 100%. And then from then, I feel like I was kind of seen as sidekick, or just, you're okay. Sidekick.
That's probably not gonna happen.
Alright, let's go.
There was a lot of co-conspiracy going on, I think, alongside Mike, and as numbers dwindle, your vote becomes more powerful. And I leaned into that, I think, and it came to a peak at just the right moment. So,
when I convinced you guys to drop, and I knew that the reason you guys would let me win was because I know that you would trust me enough, and Nick would trust me enough, but I knew you guys didn't trust each other. And you can say that it was Nick's move, you could say it was my move, you could say it was your move doing that. You knew that I wasn't really that much of a threat, but like I was the one that told you guys to do it and convinced you. And Nick, I did convince you that I was going to give you that idol, and I did make that deal finally happen after 6.5 hours.
All right, thank you, Sarah. And that rounds out the jury questions. I'll give each of you a closing statement, and then the jury will go vote. We'll go in reverse order. So Lucy, you're first.
Okay, so the main question I was waiting to get the entire night was, what would be your biggest mistake throughout the season? And I could fully answer that with, I was not confident in myself at all. And I don't think you guys still right now don't really know who I am or like what I'm about. First of all, Maggie, it doesn't make you better than me or anything to say I'm in a group and that's sad, okay? So just like screw you on that. Like actually, I just have to say that like you're not better or worse than me. It doesn't make you anything better. You know what, and maybe I do like that, so you know you could just shut up about it. It doesn't make you any better. It actually pisses me off. Alright, back to that. I don't know, I just feel like I hope you guys could see more towards the end of the game that I was starting to kind of understand or like feel more confident in myself and realize that I wasn't on the bottom every time. And you can look and see like I didn't know what was going on multiple times and I was like on that blind side of the vote. But that was because I was worried that I was the one going home every time, even though looking back on it, I was most likely very safe at that moment. So if I was to come back on All-Stars, which I hope you guys do while I'm here, the number one thing I would do is play the game the way I would like to play the game. I wanted to come in here and be the strategic person from the beginning and be someone who is strong and seen as a threat. And I'm literally from the bat, my confidence, I just didn't have it in me to step up and be that person, and that's what I would do. But I still understand, but I still have made it to the finale, to the final. I'm still in the final 3, and I'm still proud of like what I've done.
I came here to learn. I think I've learned a lot, and I think that I've been fortunately have had enough time to practice what I've learned. Namely, being able to seemingly be straightforward, but also show that I'm a quick study and that there's more to people than meets the eye, but what you see is also true. I think I surprised people. I think I surprised myself a lot, and I'm just really thankful for this opportunity. So thanks for your time.
Nick? All right, so I feel like it's pretty clear that it's between me and Mallory. I want to, again, thank you guys all for this wonderful thing. I've had a great experience playing, and I just want to say one last thing about how hard I've really played this game, because I've been playing it since day one. While Mallory has made amazing moves and has actually like voted out everyone who's on the jury, there's an element of her floating by to an extent, in my opinion. She was never really a threat because everyone just saw her as someone to throw away. And I do agree that, yes, that's good social maneuvering, but I also believe that in a way, I guess it depends on what you respect, but being able to do that same thing while being a target, in my opinion, is much more impressive, and maybe I'm biased by that. But I was able to do exactly what she did and use the bonds that we had to make it here and to vote out who I needed to get to the end. This is literally the final 3 I've been asking for the entire game. Like, it doesn't matter who I voted out as long as I got here and I was able to do it while being safe, and I was able to accomplish that the same way Mallory did. But I was able to do it with the target on my back, which in my opinion is harder and more difficult, which I believe should be praised. But I'll let you guys decide.
All right, thank you, Lucy, Mallory, and Nick. Now the power turns over to the jury, and you 8 will vote on who you want to win this season of Survivor Michigan.
Girl, when you did not fall for my trick, you won my vote. JK, Lucy.
For Mallory, it was fun to play with her. We were good allies. It made me feel better that you didn't vote or turn on me until the very end. Nick, great game, man. I'm very impressed with the game you played. And Lucy, I hope you get that shot you want on Survivor All-Stars. But all right, we'll see who wins this one.
What can I say? Nobody up there really deserves it, but here we are, so here it is.
I'll admit, I had my doubts even coming into this tribal council, but I am so proud of the way you were able to own your game so perfectly.
You've given off the semblance of control for a long time, Nick. You talked about that final 8 move, right? With me, right? Final 8. Oh, you were the one that planted it in Maggie's head to get rid of Jack.
All right, I'll go tally the votes. All right, the votes in this box are the votes for the winner of this season of Survivor Michigan. I'll read the votes. First vote, Nick. Mallory. One vote Nick, one vote Mallory. Nick. Nick. 3 votes Nick, 1 vote Mallory. Nick. 4 votes Nick, 1 vote Mallory. 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 4 votes Nick, 3 votes Mallory, 1 vote left.
We talked about that final 8 move, right? Final 8, how you were the one that planted it in Maggie's head to get rid of Jack. But that wasn't you, dude. You were gone. You were gone that week. You just happened to get lucky. Over and over in this game, I think you have known what's going on, but you've kind of skirted by because everyone else has gone after each other. Mallory, you've owned your game. That's something that Lucy and Nick haven't done.
Mallory. We have a tie. 4 votes Nick, 4 votes Mallory, which means Lucy, you will be the deciding vote.
Oh. I was going to win. Alright, how about this?
There's the box.
I'm gonna get one.
There's the other slips out there.
Okay. I'm basing my vote on more respect, and I admire this person more. I think this person took what I wanted to do once I realized the game that I was trying to play was not the game I wish I played. I would have done it exactly the way this person did.
All right, the person that Lucy voted for is the winner of this season of Survivor Michigan. I'll read the final vote. The winner of Survivor Michigan, Leaders and Best, Mallory.
Holy shit.
Alright, welcome to Survivor Michigan, Amazed and Confused, 3rd season of Survivor Michigan. Amazed and Confused, we're going to be throwing a lot of twists at you this season, and your first one starts right now.